Hello, my name is Benjamin and welcome to my channel. I've been learning Spanish for quite a few years now and someday I hope to be a polyglot. I'm going to talk a little bit about my past with languages and also my future plans and current plans too. So of course, living in England, I grew up speaking English and only English. But usually you have to learn another language once you get to secondary school. I ended up having to do Spanish in year 7 and I wasn't really crazy about it at first, and that was kind of the same for quite a few years until I picked my subjects for GCSE and I had to pick a language, so I picked Spanish, and that's when it kind of clicked for me. I realized it was something I could actually be good at, so I spent a lot of time watching lots of YouTube videos about the language, listening to Spanish music, stuff like that. And I started doing really well in lessons, so I think that's like that academic validation kind of like kept me going, made me feel like I was really good at it. I ended up getting a 9 in Spanish, so I ended up also doing Spanish A-level and I got an 8 at the end of year 13. And I'm going to be continuing my Spanish journey when I go to university in September, where I'm going to be studying Spanish there too. Through the years, I've tried learning little bits of other languages too. So at one point I was really interested in K-pop, so I ended up deciding that I wanted to learn Korean, and I was doing alright learning the alphabet. Then in around like year 11, I think I watched Young Royals, which made me really want to learn Swedish because I really liked the show and I also liked how the language sounded too. I also tried to learn a little bit of French too because I had a few lessons in year 9, and I tried learning Portuguese at some point too because of how similar it was to Spanish. But with all of these languages, the same thing happened where I kind of like gave up because I didn't have the motivation to self-study, and I kept deciding that I just wanted to focus on Spanish at the time too, probably because at the time it felt like the safe option for me. But now I wanted to give one of these languages another go since I'm taking a gap year and I've got a bit more free time now. So at the moment I'm learning Portuguese, specifically Brazilian Portuguese, and I'll be making videos soon on how I'm doing that, showing you my process, what resources I'm using, and just seeing how things go really and how much progress I can make by myself. As for why I'm learning Portuguese, one thing I love about certain languages is how they sound, and the Brazilian accent is just one of those languages that I just love how it sounds. I've also liked some Portuguese songs for quite a while now, specifically artists like Anita, who I found through her Spanish songs. So I felt like that's a good starting point for me, that I've got some media that I actually like, which keeps the language learning fun. So for my future plans with language learning, I've already mentioned that I'm going to be studying Spanish at university, but along with that, I'm also going to be studying Korean. I'm really excited to study Korean and to prepare at the moment. I've been familiarizing myself again with the alphabet. I want to get used to reading before I go so that it feels a bit more familiar for me, and like I've got a good starting point there for when I go. At some point in the future, I would really like to revisit French and Swedish just because they're languages I like as well, and I'd like to be able to speak them too one day. I would also love to learn Chinese because, like the other languages that I want to learn, I like how it sounds, and I also think it would be really useful to know just because of how many people speak Chinese. I think there's also a lot to learn about Chinese culture and China in general that would be really interesting to learn through language learning too. I think that after uni, that would be a good time to do it, after having learned Korean, which is quite different to Spanish and Portuguese, so I would have gotten used to learning completely different language to what I am used to. I am slightly terrified of like how many characters there are in like reading, but I think it will be doable if I manage to stick with it and don't give up. Thank you so much for watching my first ever YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm so excited to make more videos in the future about my language learning journey. And I also hope to share like videos about my tips for Spanish GCSE and A-level, and just general language learning advice and showing you my journey and stuff. Gracias por ver el video y nos vemos. Ciao!